How are those new clothes fitting you these days? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always love connecting with you midweek. Hope you're enjoying this spring weather, and I hope you're having a very meaningful, holy week. That question for you again, how are those new clothes fitting you? Well, friends, spring is upon us, and even though the temperatures are up and down a bit, with the rains and so on, April showers, May flowers, all of that, retailers tell us that spring is one of the most popular times of the year for people to go out and buy new clothes. Now, it's not as if they don't already have a closet full of clothes. In fact, at some point in time, they bought those clothes because they loved them. But when spring rolls around, I think there's something with the newness or the renewing of creation, rain, flowers, grass, all of that makes people want to go out and buy new clothes. And hey, you might be interested to know that the Bible has something to say about clothes. There's a story in the Old Testament where God is giving his people the instructions for the tabernacle, and he tells them that they are to give a special dress outfit to the priest. That when a person is ordained or installed as a priest, that priest is supposed to have some special clothes, and it involves a hat, it involves waistbands and all of this. The part that I really like is that the priest would have this large breastplate, they called it, and it had 12 stones on that breastplate, one stone for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. You might think, well, that's kind of nice that they wore those stones. There's a reason behind it. They had those stones on that breastplate because God said that way you'll always carry the tribes of Israel over your heart. Oh man, I love that one a lot. There's another great story in the Old Testament, though, that speaks of clothes, and I think it's especially relevant this week. You know David the giant killer, the shepherd boy who becomes famous because of his ability to defeat Goliath. You might also know that not long after that, Saul, the king, becomes jealous of David's popularity and decides to try to kill him. Well, in an interesting twist of relationships, David's best friend is a young man named Jonathan, who happened to be Saul's son. So you have Saul, the king, who wants to kill David, but David's best friend is Jonathan, who's Saul's son. That must have been a fascinating relationship. I imagine Jonathan texting David and saying, hey, you want to come over and watch the game? And David saying, hey, your dad's trying to kill me. Probably not a good idea. But there's a beautiful story in one of the books of Samuel about Jonathan and David, where Jonathan says to David, I want you to have my robe. And Jonathan takes off his robe and gives it to David. Now, that's not because David was a little bit chilled in the morning, or maybe David just liked the cut of that robe. No. Friends, that robe was special clothing. Jonathan, as the prince, would have possessed something that they called a me'el, and that robe was a sign of royalty. It was a sign of standing. It was a sign of identity. When someone saw the me'el, they would have known that this is the prince. He is the son of the king. He has that standing. So when Jonathan gives that robe to David, he's saying, in effect, the throne is really yours. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. It won't belong to my dad that much longer. But royalty, that's not me, David. That's you. You should be wearing the me'el. Now, I don't know what David ever did with that me'el. My guess is he tried to hide it at some point in time. But when David put on that me'el, that was a really important moment in history, because that was David's sign of saying, yeah, I am going to be the king. And boy, that sure bound Jonathan and David together. Well, gee, this is all nice, Mike, but isn't this Holy Week? Sure. Let me remind you of a passage that comes from the book of Isaiah. In the book of Isaiah, God tells us that he's going to clothe us with garments of salvation and with a robe of righteousness. And oh, by the way, the word robe is their word me'el. So God says, I not only want to clothe you with salvation so that your salvation is always something that's worn, it's on the outside for everybody to see it, but I want to give you this robe of righteousness. The righteousness comes from me. You can't draft it up on your own. I'm going to give you a me'el so that you'll always know you're connected back to the King. Friends, I think that fits really, really well during Holy Week, because in the New Testament of the Bible, we are told several times that we are to put on the garments of Christ, or to put on the salvation of Christ, the righteousness of Christ. It's something that we put on. It's something that we wear on the outside. It's like new clothing, and oh boy, does it fit. And especially at this time of the year, when we are focused on Jesus' sacrifice for us, his death on the cross for us, which gives us life both here and in the future, God's desire is that we would wear that salvation and that we would know who we are because of it. So friends, I hope you're wearing your garments of salvation these days. You didn't buy them off the rack someplace. They came to you because of what Jesus did for you. And then God says, I have this new robe for you I want you to wear as well. And this robe will show that you are always in connection with me. You are a child of the King. Friends, I hope that all connects with you. It sure connects with me this year on Holy Week. We hope that you're having a very meaningful Holy Week, that you're having some opportunities to spend time with the Lord and maybe reconnect in a relationship with Him. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday night at 7 o'clock here at Fellowship. And of course, Easter Sunday, 9 and 11. Love to have you there as well. But friends, may you wear your new spring clothing really well this week. Take care. God bless. Have a great week. Bye-bye.